Hi, David here, CEO and founder of the Freedom Founders Mastermind community. What's the number one reason that most people, probably most of you, are unable to make a decision that allows you to have more options, more choices, or what I would call more freedom in life? There's this construct that's decades, generations old that we go to work in a career, profession, a business, and we work until we're in our 60s, the typical retirement age, when we can get Social Security and Medicare and all the things the government provides for us. That's when we retire and they're supposed to start living the good life, the retirement life. I think for most of us and most of you listening, that's way, way outdated and not the way we look at life at all. How do we look at life today? Well, we don't have to go by the old constructs of a certain timeline, a certain age when you get to retire. I look at life like you can evolve and pivot and adapt and modify and change your course, even if you've gone years and years to school, like I did, like many of you did, to learn a specialized technical skill in a profession, a business, healthcare, engineering, accounting, whatever it might be. You don't have to stay in one mode your entire life. And that goes counter to what you've been taught, to what I was taught. Generations ago, yes, you stayed in a career, a business, a profession for a full 30, 35 years, maybe 40 years, and then you retired. Today, that's totally different. So you might ask, well, then, David, how do you pivot? How do you change when you have so much sunk cost, time involved in a certain skill set that we put our life into? Well, it's about learning to have enough. Enough what? Yeah, enough capital. Well, how much is enough? Well, how much is enough is determined by how much does that capital produce. Now, when you're working in your business or your practice, you have equity in that business. Until you sell it, that equity stays there. You are the one managing that equity. You're probably the best person to manage that equity. You're probably getting the best return because you're actively involved in that business. You are hands-on in it. And that's what you do when you start out in life. That's what we all did. But how can you transfer or transform or transition your life to one where your capital, whether it's in a business or it's in other real estate, or it might be in annuities or stock market or wherever you have it, how do you learn how to actually translate that capital to work for you as hard, or if not harder, than you work for the capital? That's the problem. Most people don't understand that. They can't make that transition. They never make that transition. They take their hard-earned, disciplined capital and they put it in savings. They put it into the financial markets, the traditional markets with financial advisors and money managers, and they do the tax-deferred 401k plans, the retirement planning, all that strategies that are so common, and gets them what? Gets them nowhere. Yes, you might have some pile of money or capital somewhere, but when you get to the end of the road, when you like to have freedom or choices or options, and you look at this capital base, it might be $1 million, it might be 2 million, maybe it's 5 million, maybe it's 8 million if you really, really worked hard and really done it well. But you still don't know if it's enough, do you? Because no one's taught you how to do that. Yes, you've been very good about working for the money, but you don't know how to make the money work for you. And that is the biggest problem. How much is enough is determined by how much can you make that capital base work for you. I fortunately started learning that when I was in my early 20s, before I even had a license to go into dentistry. I did both at the same time. I got my license. I increased my skill set in doing what I learned how to do, trading time for dollars, serving patients in this way, but I also learned how to start building a capital base on the side. Most of you didn't do that, and that's okay. I'm not pointing a finger at you at all. I was fortunate, found the right people, did some things that got me ahead. What I do today is help people like you to take the capital you have, wherever it may be, and help you start to organize it and start to learn how to focus on getting that capital working for you. I don't do it for you. I'm not a fiduciary. I'm not a financial planner. I'm not licensed to do that. I'm not licensed to do any of that. I'm licensed to be a dentist, and that's it. But what I do know how to do is guide. I can guide. I am not the hero in your life. You're the hero of your own life. I'm the guide that helps take you from where you are to start having your capital work for you so that you can start to make the decisions that so far you've been afraid to make. Fear. Yeah, fear of not having enough, fear of messing up what you already have. The baggage we have in our own life is well known to us, right? And as much as we don't like it, as much as we wish we could move out of the trap, the hole that we're in, even though we live a pretty good life, what we know is more familiar, and so we stay there. We're afraid to make the move because we might mess that up. As uncomfortable as that is, I know where you are. I know how you feel. I was, in a good way and a bad way, I was forced to make some decisions in my life because of my daughter's health situation. It all turned out good, but it made me step up to the plate and really say what is important in my life. Do I just need to build more capital, a bigger practice, more practices? Or could I take the capital I already acquired and turn that into capital that could work for me? And when I made that decision, really for my daughter's benefit, it turned the table for me in a very positive way, because I could then focus on taking the capital I had and making it work for me. I didn't have to go back to work. Now, I still do things today. I love what I do. I enjoy what I do. I still make money doing what I do today, but I make a lot more money just being a steward of the capital, relatively small base that I had some 20 years ago, and have now extrapolated that into, a relatively sizable capital base where I don't have to do any more work, but I can do what I want to do. And that's what freedom and choices are about. It's not retiring. It's not quitting. It's not selling and going fishing or playing golf. You can do all those things, but what you want to do is have the choices to make decisions along the way, so you can take some time to spend with your family, to make those memories, or while your health is good. You can still do those things that you can do while you're healthy and not say, well, I'll do it when I'm in my 60s. No, 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 no. Way too late. Wrong model. What's holding you back is you just don't know how to do it. And that's okay. You're smart. You're capable. You've got where you are by the hard work you've done to get to this point. But what got you there, where you are today, is not going to get you where you want to go. Just working harder and longer, it's not going to do it. And you don't want to do that anyway. You're already burning out. There is a pathway. You just need a guide. You need a guide who's been there, done it, understands you, and can bring to you the education, the frameworks, and the ability to implement a game plan suitable for you. You design it. We help you. We show you. We don't do it for you. Yet we do it with you. That's what Freedom Founders is about. And that's what I encourage you to look for in your life, is who are your guides, your mentors. It may not be me, and that's okay. But don't do this alone. Find somebody who understands you, who has lived the life that you want to live, who is authentic and transparent, not selling you a line of goods or just some promises of future outcomes that never happen. Find the proof. Find the proof. Has that person done what you want to do, and have they helped others actually do it? That's where you start with your due diligence. That's what I encourage you to do wherever you are on your path. It's your focus on your freedom. That's what counts. Hope to see you soon.